Hello.
रुक जा छोटू।
मोमो हाँ देखो मैं।
ओ हो
आ गया मान दो
Welcome, my dear friend Kannan Rajarathinam. In the second episode of touching with the current situation of Iran, we were starting to talk about strategic autonomy, foreign policies. Let's talk from Manmohan Singh prime ministerial period to the Modi era about how this strategic autonomy is taking shape and taking India to some good places.
After
Please
the
go
end
ahead.
of the Cold War, as you rightly said, there was no need to choose. There was only one power. Our policy was earlier under the non-aligned policy. We were equidistant from the two superpowers.
Two superpowers.
Or at least that's what we said. But after the end of the two block world, we reciprocated whoever wanted to be friends with us because we opened the economy. So we were really looking for a wider integration of India's economy, India's political involvement, etc., with everybody. And two things have happened. India's good friend, the Soviet Union, had become 15 countries. It was just one country.
Correct.
It had become 15 countries. Then there was another friend who was equally close, former Yugoslavia. It had become...
They were very close with the
We
Indian.
were close. Both of us were the leaders of the non-aligned world.
Oh, that is why we had a
Marshal
motorbike
Tito.
like Java, SD and all.
I don't know if
I
it
think
came
so.
from Yugoslavia, but Marshal Tito, the Yugoslav leader, was in Averted in 1956.
He visited Audi.
He was there for the Congress conference, for the National Convention of the Congress. He was the chief guest. Nehru had invited him. So the relationship between Yugoslavia and us, Yugoslavia being the second world in those days, a middle income country like Mexico.
Growing country at that time.
We were below them. So we sent some of our students to study there in Yugoslavia.
In Yugoslovakia.
And it was equidistant from the two blocks. And from the 1990 onwards, we started to approach everybody and to build relationships. So after the advent of Manmohan Singh, we reciprocated the American, even before we reciprocated, but we were under economic sanctions, and then we approached and we signed up when the sanctions were imposed, we could not bring uranium into our country.
Okay.
The sanctions really sort of...
Yugoslavia had uranium.
Not Yugoslavia, Americans, when the Americans imposed in 1998 or 99.
Yeah, after the
explosion.
Yeah. Okay.
We had to overcome it. It took us 10 years. We had to talk to the Americans all the time. And so one of the things that we did, because to relate it to the current situation, in 2005, we joined the Americans in voting against the Iranians on the nuclear issue.
I see.
This was Manmohan Singh's time. In 2006,
we voted against Iran against the nuclear policy adopted by Iran in favor of the Americans.
Because the resolution said that...
Oh, 79.
Not
revolution, Islamic revolution.
Correct. Correct. So we are doing this in 2005. So we are saying that they were not transparent. The resolution says that they were not following, they were not pursuing nuclear power for peaceful purposes. They were following it for something else. So there was a resolution bringing this to the matter of the Security Council. We are not for it. We want it to remain with the International Atomic Energy Agency. But yet, probably because of American pressure, probably because we wanted to befriend the Americans, we voted against the Iranians for the first time in 2005. In 2006, we voted twice against the Iranians. There were 3 votes. In 2008,
In spite of that good friendship between
we have
Iran,
the Iranians will understand because we are not the only ones to vote against them. 3-4 days ago, 11th of March, 11th of March,
this year 2026.
yes, the UN Security Council passed a resolution condemning Iran for its attacks against the Gulf countries.
Okay.
135 countries voted. We were one of those condemning Iran. The next day, our Prime Minister spoke to the President of Iran.
Pezeshkian.
He spoke to him. Our Foreign Minister has been in touch with his counterpart on a continuous basis. So far, after the war began, he has spoken 4 times. And the result of that, you could see, 2 ships have been
released.
have been given safe
have
passage. They
received
have
the
come and
fuel.
reached Indian shores. 22 ships remain.
Still.
They will try to
Get it all.
get safe passage for them too. But so the previous day, India joined.
You mean to say 22 ships of energy is still stuck?
Correct.
And if it comes, I don't think all this talk
No,
of
even
shortage
otherwise,
will be there.
I think we have made alternate arrangements. We are bringing cooking gas or liquefied petroleum gas from Algeria, from Australia, from America, from Canada, etc. We are sourcing it. And then the Hormuz Straits, we used to bring 45% of our oil and gas needs through Hormuz.
Okay.
Now we only bring 30%.
Okay.
So we have made other arrangements. We don't have the practice of stockpiling cooking gas so far. LPG, LNG, we haven't. We have only 2 places where we store this gas.
Just like COVID,
Correct.
which helped us to modify many of our activities,
Practices.
fine tune from the traditional way of living.
Correct.
I think this emergency also
Correct.
will do something to all Indians
You're
to
right.
be less dependent on these type of energies.
Correct. So we will have to, we have about 2 months of oil reserve. So if there is an contingency, we can bring out that oil. We don't have such contingency
On gas.
for gas. We only have 2 days of supplies.
Okay.
Okay, so this is a lesson for us. This is a lesson for many others, Pakistan, Bangladesh, everybody. So we voted against. The next day, we spoke to Pezeshkian, and then Jaishankar spoke to Abbas Araghchi, and the 2 ships were given safe passage. I don't know of other ships that have been given safe passage so far. So the strategic autonomy that the Indians have been pursuing have shown them to walk a very, very fine line. It's almost like a man who's performing a tightrope trick.
Okay. Nice. So you have been talking about Manmohan Singh time and the current government also. You are very happy with the way our foreign affairs are handled by the current Minister Jaishankar?
Our foreign minister is one of the more performing ministers of this cabinet. I mean, he is well regarded everywhere. Despite, I think he is very articulate.
Well spoken, well behaved.
Well spoken of and well respected in many quarters. And I think he comes off as a pretty intelligent and sharp man. A foreign
He is
minister
able
should
to foresee certain things.
Yeah, he's eloquent. And he tries to defend the most indefensible positions of his government. Now, there is this view that after this government took office, we have been closer to Israel than to the Palestinians. We have sort of abandoned the Palestinians. Our Prime Minister went to Israel and 2 days later the war began.
Correct.
Okay? We didn't condemn the Israelis for 2 years when they conducted this war against the Gazans, people in Gaza. We didn't condemn. We kept quiet. So there is this impression that we are...
See, I think that is a very delicate situation And I don't think our government washed their hands on Palestinians. They won't. The situations are so awful that these things cannot be avoided. And having a good relationship with Israel is right from day one of Israel.
No. We recognized Israel only in 1992 under Manmohan Singh. We didn't have any relationship with them at all. We voted against the creation of Israel.
Okay.
So we didn't have. The first.
But I am told that Israel, in their parliament when they gained their land, thanked India
I'm not so
for
sure.
not oppressing them when the world
We had the Jews have taken
Jews.
refuge in Cochin and in Kerala 2000 years ago when the first temple fell, when the first Jewish temple was fell. We have been friendly
We
to them,
have been
but
good to them.
we have not had
We have not
diplomatic
persecuted
relations
them.
because we, in fact, if I remember right, I think we couldn't even go to Israel until some time. There were two countries which we were prohibited from going, South Africa and Israel, because we didn't have any relationship with them.
See, in spite of so much turmoil in Israel, always, one thing we have to accept, it's a very small country, and this is their neighbors had a policy that it should not exist at all. And this small country with a smaller population, and they are fighting with everyone, somewhere or other, hook or crook they have the art of surviving one. And their intelligence has given many inventions even in health areas like vaccinations to the world.
Agriculture,
Agriculture.
drip irrigation.
That is why India had good relations or having good relations with them to develop further.
There's one other reason. In the 90s, as I said, radicalism, terrorism became an issue for the world. They are very good at counterterrorism. So,
Because they were always threatened.
so we also pick up those skills from them. So therefore, we have a lot to learn from them. And the Arab world opened up. The first Arab country to establish relationship with Israel was Egypt
Oh,
in 1980. After which Anwar Sadat, who did this, was killed.
correct.
And Menachem Begin, who did this with Sadat, was also killed. So both the heads of government
Were bumped off.
were by the radicals. So it was only after that, after Egypt had, and in return it got its Sinai Peninsula desert back.
Okay.
We took 12 years more to recognize it. And 2 years later, Jordan recognized Israel. And after that, in last Trump term, you had Bahrain recognizing it under the Abraham Accords. You had UAE recognizing Israel. The Saudis have always had a very
Blow hot, blow cold relationship or
behind the scene relationship
behind the scene good
for
relationship
the
with
last
Israel.
20 plus years. And then you have Sudan and Morocco about to establish relationship. I think Kazakhstan is the next one in last year which wanted to establish. So Muslim nations are slowly warming up to Israel.
But major reason for all these things is because they are technically superior.
That is one
That
reason.
is the what else they have?
American, because if you're friends with Israel, the Americans will like it. The American administration will like it. Because they want a Middle East where you have Israel on one hand, and then you have all the other countries, the Arab countries, who are not friends with Israel. And the Americans are friends with both sides. So if you two are friends, then it makes my job easy. That's the reason. Of course, they are Israelis. There's so much that one can learn from
Yes,
the
because
Israelis.
of their natural wealth and all.
They don't
doesn't
have
seem
much
to-
natural
yeah.
wealth. They've turned the
We
desert
need not
into
have
an
friendship
oasis.
because they have gold there,
No.
or diamond there, or oil resource available there for thousands of years.
true.
It's not there. But it's such a small country, the art of survival they have to, because every minute their life is under threat.
True.
So they had to do something, and they have gone to war only when attacked. Did they go to war on their own?
Sure. They've
Huh?
done that too. Sure,
On
sure.
their own too.
Sure, sure.
Which year and where?
In 1956, they went to attack Egypt on their own.
When Egypt did nothing.
In 1967, the 1967 war was provoked by the Israelis. So they've done
they have their share of blunder.
Of course, of course. Humans are the same
Humans are
on
the
both
same.
sides. So, except they had fought these wars on their own without much help, with just arms from the Czech
America
Republic
and
and
Czech
America in 1973 war. The Americans helped. Otherwise, they would have lost that war, as I understand. The first two wars, they managed to, on their own, beat back the Jordanians, the Egyptians, the Syrians, the Iraqis, on their own.
Six countries.
Yes. So they could do that. So therefore, the Americans took note of them in the 1970s because the Americans were defeated in Vietnam. They felt very small. And then when they looked at the Middle East, they saw the
They are
small...
repeating the same Americans, just like Vietnam. People, the world never expected Iran war to go to the 20th day, and every day mostly we are hearing that Iran has stuck here, Iran has stuck that, Iran has stuck the naval ship. So many Americans dead, even though the number is 10 like that. So every day.
They struck the biggest oil field in Qatar yesterday. So they are, you know,
Inflicting.
they are making it very difficult for
And generally, people love, it is something like a war like Goliath.
Goliath and David. Absolutely. Yes.
So
it is.
people enjoy what David does.
True, true. There's a lot of sympathy for David. Although David is not entirely, if you look at the IAEA pronouncements on Iran, you will see that they were not really very open about their nuclear program. They were not extremely transparent.
You tell me which country that has gone nuclear doesn't have warheads or war grade nuclear materials?
You're absolutely
Any
right.
country
You're absolutely right.
automatically does that.
But the Iranians have, till today, have professed that they are after nuclear power for peaceful purposes.
Everybody says no.
Yeah.
Each and every country says
They've
the
been-
same.
No, no, but they've been found out. The Indians were not found out. So they did it clandestinely. They suffered for 10 years.
India,
So if you can do it without anybody noticing it, then you see India only had one country which is inimical to
yes,
it.
yes.
The other countries were indifferent. Maybe they're not friends, maybe they're not enemies.
But
Iran-
except Pakistan, as you said, no country thinks that India will become a nuclear threat to anybody.
So
That's a good.
So after 79, that impression is not there about Iran.
Iran. Okay.
There are Sunni Arab states who consider Iran a very inimical force. And they don't want it to be a nuclear power.
Okay, they're neighbors.
The Gulf states today.
Naturally.
So they don't want it to be a neighbor. And then
And they have never been able to maintain the good relationship.
there were
or friendship.
three Arab states which wanted to go nuclear. The first was Iraq,
Okay.
Saddam Hussein, I think 1982. The Israelis conducted a preemptive strike and finished their nuclear program. The Israelis struck 2009. They struck Syria. Syria had a program.
Acha.
They finished it off.
They were advanced to that extent.
Yes, through North Korean technology.
Okay.
So they were finished. The third one
So the
was
silent contributor is North Korea to some of.
correct. Actually, this guy, the Khan, this Pakistani nuclear scientist.
Okay.
The rumor is he stole this
Technology.
from Switzerland when he was working, and then from there he had passed it on to not just his country but also to North Korea and elsewhere. So we don't know if that is true, but that is the
Could be.
Could be, but that is the widely held belief that he stole this and so going back, so the Iranians also are signatories to the Non-Proliferation Treaty.
Okay.
We are not.
We are not.
We didn't commit to anything. The Iranians are still
Committed.
signatories to the NPT. Under the new non-proliferation treaty, you have to open up your nuclear sites for inspection. And
Which
if-
they refused. Huh?
Yeah. Yes. No, they played hide and seek. They opened up a few. They closed a few.
But anyhow, I felt that Iran, old Persia, a very long
History.
civilization, and people with so much of intelligence too, and Ayatollah Ali Khamenei being a soft-spoken person on camera to his people, with so much age, at least 10 years elder than Donald Trump, and looking at with his experience, who has seen turmoils in his own country, looking at Trump, the way he's behaving in a very undiplomatic manner, rough manner,
Uncouth.
setting all the war vessels surrounding the country. I thought with his age, Ayatollah Khomeini could have, personally at least, instead of using some people to talk, he could have personally called Trump, met Trump directly, tried to talk and postpone a war. There is no point in dying alone. The country is now rudderless now, anyhow. So I think because this guy, Trump will one-way traffic, my way or highway. But I think Ayatollah Khomeini could have, because his term is only 3 years. Whereas Ayatollah Khomeini term is not like that. He can be there. He is
Forever.
Accepted supreme leader, not only in Iran, but all his other country where the same faith was followed. So I thought he could have averted the war by talking and ensuring that 3 years passes away. Maybe allowing the IAEA to come, inspect, go.
No, they've
talk, something.
They've allowed IAEA inspections half-heartedly. They have not been extremely transparent. And an IAEA in 2025, before the 12-day war, came up with a statement saying they are not in compliant with the Obama agreement, the 2015 agreement.
Yes, 15 years they gave.
Correct. So that is what triggered it gave an excuse for Israel to strike Iran, and it gave an excuse for the Americans to join them.
Israel will strike any nation nearby their vicinity to go nuclear because they are under threat. So to protect them, they will only do this clandestinely. At least they will do it.
Correct.
Any nation around.
They've killed a number of nuclear scientists in Iran.
Yeah.
They've assassinated.
Correct. So they will do. But I thought this much of a destruction could have been averted by Ayatollah Khomeini, elderly stature.
Look, these are people who are deeply religious. They are entrenched in a particular belief. He really believes that America is evil. He really believes. When Obama took over as the president, he's reported to have said, "We don't know much about this president." That is how, because the President Obama gave a speech. He was the first president after a long time who mentioned Iran by name in a speech. And he said, "We are willing to extend a hand to Iran, provided the Iranians unclench their fist." They've closed their fist.
On nuclear.
Yes. So if they unclench, we are willing to hold your hand. This was said in 2009. 2015, there was an agreement. That agreement took 20 months to strike. The Iranians are hard bargainers.
Tough negotiators.
So what brought this to them, to this precipice is the Americans and probably the others don't trust them they cannot trust them with the uranium material, because they promised to enrich it only to this extent, and then they enrich it there. So the Americans were saying, I read yesterday, we will give you free nuclear enriched material, free,
Oh, free.
free
Ah,
for your electricity use to generate
Oh.
power for medicinal
for
use.
all peaceful
Yes,
purposes.
we will give you. You shouldn't be
When
dealing.
was this told by them? Americans?
February 26th
Okay.
in Geneva.
Oh, to avert the war. I think that's a good deal.
But the Iranians said, Abbas Araghchi said, no, enriching uranium is our inalienable right.
Right.
After which Steve Witkoff said, then preventing you from doing it is our right.
Okay.
Then there ensued Abbas Araghchi started raising his voice against Steve Witkoff.
Okay.
Steve Witkoff said, Mr. Minister, if you don't like me here, I will leave the hall. And then he reported this conversation to Trump, who was nonplussed, who was confused. Are the Iranians serious or not? So he was just waiting for an excuse to strike them because they are the weakest.
And Iran invited it.
I think Iran also has to take some blame, I think.
At least a small portion. Okay, nice, Kannan. It was a very, very, very informative discussion and a very good dialogue between us. Is now concluding at the third episode. We will look at, we pray for an early peace in the Gulf region and will let the world begin rebuilding itself. So when we do the next episode, by God's grace, maybe we will talk about how the war has ended. That is what everyone will wish. The same I wish too. You wish too. So with that, I thank you for coming to our studios and having a very, very, very nice, interesting dialogue, which was totally different from the many channels which I am viewing on Iran war. Thank you.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.